Vladimir Putin died. On the 27th of October, Russian media space exploded on the rumors that Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, the Tsar and the ruler of 23 years, died. But they were just that, rumors. Actually, even today, 1 month later, no one can confirm that he died. But those who've been keeping their eyes open could notice many interesting developments in the upper levels of the Kremlin and Russian politics in general. And I'd like to share these hidden developments, make it public today. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin, welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. No propaganda, BS or lies here. As usual, only truth, common sense and logic, and some emotions because I'm a human being, after all. Let's talk of Vladimir Putin, Russia's ruler. His possible doubles and a successor to Russian throne. First things first, a disclaimer. What I'm about to tell you is strictly my opinion. No one knows if Vladimir Putin died or not. No one knows if he has doubles. I do not claim that I am right. My opinion is based on my own analysis of Russian politics and different developments in the political scenes and in Russian society. I might be wrong. Now, when the disclaimer is over, let's go. Did Vladimir Putin die in late October? No one knows. And if they tell you they know, they lie. Let's imagine the situation if he's really died. Who would have known then? Let's imagine, who would have known? His bodyguards, or they might be his jailers at this point, keeping him acting right on behalf of some Russian elite power groups. We don't know that. Possible. So, but definitely bodyguards would know. So, imagine this. He's not feeling well. The doctors are called in, but there's nothing they can do. It's done. A few most trusted bodyguards, not all, but very few, are right there, right next to the doctors. And there's no one else. No one else except for the bodyguards and a few doctors would know of the fact of Putin's death, What would be the next step? And I'm pretty sure the bodyguards are well instructed for this scenario. The bodyguards isolate the doctors. I'd say they lock them up. They don't tell anyone of what happened and go to make a telephone call or somehow to inform those who pay them the most. Now, I think that Putin's bodyguards are on someone's payroll. Again, it's my opinion strictly. I think they sell information, and that information of the last breath would be most expensive. Why? Because of the power struggle. There are political groups that want the ultimate prize, the absolute power. That's the game. The absolute power in Russia is obtained through a proxy, usually. A puppet. A little man placed into a big chair, who does as he is told to do. Russian presidents are not natural-born leaders rising to power through their strength, smarts, charisma, or leadership. They are placed into the job to protect the interests of the others. Remember Vladimir Putin and his rise to power? The oligarchs had to beg him to become the president. Yes, the rumors have it, he refused the proposition when he was approached for the first time. He wanted them to make him the head of Gazprom instead, but then he agreed. Now, back to imagining the situation if Putin really dies. The bodyguards inform of his death, of, the ones who pay them the most. Most likely, they inform a head of a political clan, one clan. Right after that, silence would descend upon this whole entire ordeal. Because after death of a dictator, any dictator, first hours and days are the most precious, most important. The power groups, you can call them political clans, use that time to agree on successor. That's the most important thing. To get your man to the throne first, to get your man to the throne. And that's the fight for survival of the clans, really. That's because after this thing is done, some of them will not survive. That's a ruthless fight. The entire political landscape would get completely reformatted for years to come. And some established players might not have space in this new system that emerges and agreed on in the hours after the death. And I'm telling you this in details so you understand if Putin really died that day in late October, no one except for the selected few power brokers of the Russian politics, no one would know about that. It'd be real bad luck for the doctors on whose shift Putin would die. It would make them witnesses to a big crime. Imagine what would happen to them. In the best case scenario, they'd be locked up and isolated from the world for some time, long time, isolated including from their families. And there actually are worse scenarios to consider, worse than that. So, in late October, no one knew if Putin really died or not. That was my opinion back then, and I still stand my ground. But I've kept my eyes open. And quite a few interesting things happened, or we can call them stranger things. First stranger thing was that Vladimir Putin has disappeared from the public space. In the days followed the rumors. It's been very noticeable, actually. Well, I think the Russian public doesn't notice these things for the most part because they don't care. But the ones who actually pay attention, they notice. Putin appeared just a couple times on public, widely televised, and he made an appearance publicly commenting Jewish pogroms in Dagestan. Remember that event so significant that if Russian president did not say anything, it would look very suspicious. So he appeared on public and he commented. And there were couple other minor occasions. I say Russian president, but the guy who was presented to the public didn't really look like Vladimir Putin. Or should I rephrase myself? He looked somewhat like Vladimir Putin. You can see that guy who looked somewhat like Vladimir Putin on the thumbnail to this live stream. Now, is that guy a double of Russia's president, as the rumors have it? I don't know. Perhaps Putin himself had plastic surgeries, or he is incredibly not well and his face has deformed a great deal. Or perhaps he aged in a very strange and unusual way. I do not claim that the person appearing publicly lately in Russian media space, is a double of Russia's president. I don't. But the Japanese researchers do. They claim that Putin uses body double, and they claim that they have researched the topic using artificial intelligence. I'll put a link to the article that talks about it in the description below. Check it out after the end of the stream. So, lack of Putin is the first stranger thing. It becomes even stranger if we remember that the presidential elections in Russia are coming up in mid-March of the next year, 2024. as I'm making this live stream right now, there are less than 4 months left to the elections. Putin not voicing his decision whether he will not go for another term or, not saying anything looks very, very suspicious at this point. What's even more suspicious that the decision to go for the 5th term was made a long time ago, years ago. Let me remind you, the Russian government changed the constitution of the country in a nationwide referendum at the peak of COVID pandemic in the summer of 2020. They changed the constitution, for God's sake, so Putin could continue being the president. It took them a great deal of resources, money, risks. That was a huge deal. They didn't do it for nothing, In late September, the officials from the Office of President's Chief of Staff were informing reporters left and right that Vladimir Putin was to announce his decision to participate in the upcoming presidential elections very soon. On November 3rd, they even gave the date, November 3rd. A large expo, a forum, exhibition called Russia, was scheduled to open in Moscow, VDNH. A huge 5 months long event, widely publicized, televised all over Russia. The rumors have it that they created this Expo Russia event so Putin could announce his plans to run for the president for the 5th term while opening it. Very elegant decision, very elegant situation, Russian newspaper Kommersant made an article of Putin making an announcement at the expo. The link to the article is in the description again, so look it up for yourself. It looked like it was a done deal in the middle of October, in the late September, in early October, And guess what happened? Vladimir Putin did not even show up. Vladimir Putin did not show up to open the Expo Russia. Everyone was shocked, and he kept silent until literally a couple days ago. He started appearing publicly, literally a couple days ago. The guy knew he was going to run. He had planned it for years. It was his big decision to change the constitution to allow for him to go for 2 more terms. They even planned this huge event that most likely took a year or so to organize and prepare, the Expo Russia, so he could make an elegant and beautiful announcement while opening it. But guess what? Something went very wrong at the very last moment. Now, there are rumors coming from the President Chief of Staff Chief of Staff office, that Putin will announce his decision on December 13th or so. Another very stranger thing. It's kind of too late. And the third very stranger thing is a person, Nikolai Pateev, the secretary of Russia's Security Council and the former head of FSB, the KGB. He has always been a power broker in Russian politics, perhaps even person number 2, as he's been overseeing siloviki, those government agencies that have a right to use violence against Russian citizens. The old-school Soviet guy, he's 72 years old, joined the KGB in the early 70s, was in the elite unit of counterintelligence for a long time. In the 90s, when the USSR fell apart, he joined the new government and became a politician. What a guy! Nikolai Pateev has always hid behind the curtains. A classic gray cardinal. That he did exactly what he was supposed to do, That until early November 2023. All of a sudden, he started making public appearances. He made a famous speech about Vladimir Putin. Everyone has talked about it. He spoke of Putin in the past tense, as if he was no more. Putin was, Putin did, Putin made, etc. Soon after, days after, he made a very publicly televised appearance meeting with Russian governors, but very strange one. Now, for how long has Patrushev been the Secretary of the Security Council? For 15 years, since 2008. Before that, for almost a decade, he had been the head of the FSB. Always in the shadows. No one talks about this guy, but this guy is very powerful, okay? His power is in him being in charge of the Siloviki and being behind the curtains. No one knows. He's the perfect Grey Cardinal. And all of a sudden, he starts appearing publicly. What's even stranger was the topic of the meeting with the governors. Patrushev ordered the governors to prepare for the transition to a mobilization economy, or in simple language, the war economy. Since when the Secretary of Security Council, in charge of country's security, orders something to the governors, from the area of economics? And such a huge decision as switching provinces' economies from normal mode to war mode? Since when a small man secretary orders, if he was the president, calling the shots and making decisions? Patrushev is obviously changing his image in Russia, becoming much more public person. He has showed his place in the political establishment to regular people under new light. He has stepped into the limelight, so to speak. And it is a very stranger thing. Now, let me sum up. The rumors that Putin dies started circulating in Russia in late October. Then, stranger things started happening. Putin has mostly disappeared from the public eye. He has been ignoring a critical event, the announcement of his decision to go to the next presidential elections, despite the fact that he has had plans to do that for years now. And a new power broker politician has emerged in the public eye as the leader, a strong man, giving orders to the governors. Now, it's time to watch the political situation in Russia. This is it. This is the Holy Grail. Everything will clear up very soon. If Putin is alive and all going according to his plan, he will announce the decision to go for the 5th term very soon. In this case, the political landscape will not change much. He'll still be the boss, and the rumors of his death back in October, just that, the rumors. But if Putin, or the guy who somewhat looks like Putin, announces the decision to step down and clear the way to the younger Russians, saying, oh, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. Oh, I want to do it, but I feel that I need to give the way to the younger generation, or something happens to him until then, we'll know that those rumors started circulating in late October. They were not just rumors. The power groups simply cannot allow the double to continue as Putin, as the risk of this lie to be uncovered is very high. They will have to replace him with someone else, and this delay in the decision, in announcement of this decision, means that the power groups, the power clans, are secretly negotiating or perhaps fighting right now. If a new name is announced for the elections in December, that would be the person all power clans will have agreed upon. We will know that immediately. In this case, if Putin decides not to, or, someone else decides, so Putin will not go for another term, for the 5th term, and a new person will be introduced. In this case, Russia will most likely enter the times of a great political turmoil and civil unrest. And if Putin decides to run, if he's well, he's alive, then that'll be a different story. The 13th of November, and I think the decision will be announced then, give or take a day, is near. Just 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we will know what path will be chosen for Russian people by their masters. Keep on tuning in. And remember, I have been saying for a long time that the victory for Ukraine will come not from the front lines, but from the inside Russia. Thank you so very much for giving me another chance to share my opinion with you. My pleasure and my honor. I would like to invite everyone to carry on to the live stream chat. I will answer your questions. I'll try to answer all the questions. While I am turning the live stream chat on, I would like to ask you to help me out a little bit. Please like this live stream and help me spread this message by making reposts in your social media accounts. That helps a lot. It feeds the algorithm of YouTube. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com, I wouldn't mind. Thank you so very much. Live stream chat is on. Friends, my biggest question is, what do you think? Did you find anything useful, interesting for you from my message? Do you share my analysis, my thoughts, my opinion, or you disagree? Let me know, please. Thank you very much for coming all, and I'd like to tell you, if you're here for the first time, this is the best community on YouTube. Inside Russia is absolutely great because of the people who come watch in chat. This community has the best moderation team in the world. Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Potter, and Amir Fazad. They are great people and fantastic moderators. And the usual suspects, you, who come every day, fantastic to see you. You make my day. I just want you to know that. Every day, you make my day. When I turn the live stream chat on and I see so many names coming back every day, it's fantastic. As if I was walking into a pub and seeing a bunch of friends. I do that twice a day. I walk into Tashkent Breakfast Club every morning and I see a bunch of friends there. And then I turn on the live stream chat and this is a virtual pub, and I see so many friends here too. So fantastic. Thank you. If you want me to see your question easier, please put it in caps and all caps, and put inside Russia after @ sign, so I see it highlighted in a large orange box. Helps a lot. Thank you so much. I see a super chat from David McInnes from Canada. No message, but David, thank you so much. Your message is heard, and I'm much appreciated. Thank you. So we have Mommy, Lorna, Bob S, and Harry Potter and Amir. I'm not seeing them, but they are in our hearts and in our heads, in our minds. And Nightbot is here as well. Baker Stock, thank you so much for highlighting the message. Hello, Great Southern Land, howdy. Ice, My Life, Jodes Rames, Kyle E, Carano, Allison, Jesteri, Dirk, Frank in Texas, Paula W, friends, thank you for coming. Amy, Zero G, Pamela J, Crusader Damian, Roy Cousins, Kylie, I hope your wife is doing better. Pray for her every evening. Millie, Tom W, Dan Taylor, Dave Strains, Caesars, Robin Schaffer, Her Royal Fulfillness Celestia, Princess of Cake. I like the name. That's unusual. Fresh. Multi-Ducky, Good Nubbin, Angela McNaugh, DMS 2024, Howdy. Tammy, Kermo, Bruning Imagery, aka Dieter. Oh, Veronica. Okay, and the others. Good evening. And those of you who live in America, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Very special holiday for, I think, all of us, for me as well. You know, I do virtual meetings with my American family. So anyway, Konstantin, could it happen the same way as Putin was nominated years ago, since January 1st? Yes, yes, and yes. Caesars, thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting, and thanks for asking. That's a very good question. And if Putin decides, or another guy who looks like somewhat like Putin decides not to, it's actually this guy who, if it's true, and this guy who looks somewhat like Putin is in Putin's place, then he doesn't make any decisions. He's a puppet. He's worse puppet than ever, because he's, I mean, poor guy. What's gonna happen to him? They stole his life from him, you know, and his future. Anyway, if the decision is made that Putin is not going for the 5th term, then they will have to come up with a successor, and with a name. The rumors have it there's one name, and that's a person closely related to the Patrushev, but we will see about that. At this point, it is not clear who possibly could be a successor, but remember Putin, no one had known Putin before Yeltsin announced that he was to become the prime minister, and then he became, 3 months later, he became interim president. So that would be the guy who's unknown, and I've been saying that for a long time. Because there's not one leader in Russia who can rival the system. Okay, there's no one. Putin has made sure that all leaders like that have gone, have disappeared. Therefore, but there are clans, there are power groups. Don't make mistake. I mean, Russia is a bunch of spiders in terms of the politics, you know, and each group of spiders have their own plans. So anyway, so Caesars, definitely, if a new person is announced, that something like what Yeltsin did with Putin 23 years ago could be done. Or another version, another way is Putin will simply sit out until March. Okay, he will disappear from the public eye. He'll say, hey, for some reason, I'm too old, I'm too sick, I don't know, I'm too tired or whatever. He says, just like Yeltsin did, said, I'm gonna give, you know, this younger generation, younger Russians the chance. And he's just gonna be sitting there. And then after the new president is elected, definitely something will happen to the old Putin, or the guy who looks like Putin, you know. Anyway, because I'm pretty sure of one thing. If Putin is alive and well, he would never step down. Never. Because that's the end of his life. Political life, and then his life, real life, after the end of political life will not be long and will not be happy and successful, you know. So he would never step down on his own. Anyway. Thank you so much again. Crusader Damian, thank you for your question. In my eyes, your questions are the best, hands down. They have given me so much food for thought, and they're just spot on. Crusader Damian says, I believe that Putin is dead. How do we know what's the next leader is good for Ukraine? You seem confident and I trust you. Please share. Now, how do I know? I don't know. I can only make analysis and I can think, I can use logic and common sense. Okay, that's basically all I do. I don't know anything else. I didn't go to school to analyze politics or stuff like that. So, but let's say that Putin is dead. And let's say there will be the new guy in the office in March. Russia is still in Zugzwang. Things are not looking well economically. Russia has been isolated. Russia has been, you know the story. Okay, Russia is not well. This needs to change. There's been a talk in the Russian establishment, in the Russian media. Oh, we need to negotiate with the Ukrainians. We need to make peace in Ukraine. Every single day, someone says they are conditioning people, okay? Because they can't just abruptly withdraw troops from Ukraine. People will be asking questions. Why the hell did you get in there in the first place, right? So they've been conditioning people. This got to change. This got to change. A new guy, after something happens to Putin, and I'm pretty sure something would, he will start blaming everything on Putin. Oh, we just received new data. Oh, wait a second. He is not the one who he pretended to be. Oh, he was always saying he's good for Russia. He meant, look at this. Look at this paper. We didn't know. I didn't know. If I knew, oh my God, we would have, oh my God, this is treason. And they will change this direction that Russia is going to, okay? And then they'll try to use it to their own advantage. They'll try to make a deal with Ukraine, of course, and they'll try to make the deal with the West. And they will try to get back to the West, to keep on having their money transferred to the West, to live in the West, and things like that. So this is what I think that the direction they're going to be steering Russia towards. Thank you, Crusader Damian. Thank you so much, Shireen. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. There's a question from Sam K. Howdy, friend. George Rames. Leitmotif saying spot on. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving Thursday, guys. Thank you, Jeffrey. Same to you. Just Terry, no gay for president. No, my friend. Why do you want such a bad fate for me, That's not good to be the president. At least the president of Russia. We have a super chat from Thor, from Norway. Thor Arne Vink Hagen. I mean, your scenario could be very likely, Konstantin. Thank you for your work. I appreciate, the money, the super chat that you send is very appreciated, much needed, but the words are priceless. The words, that what drives me. Thank you so very much, Thor. Yeah. I imagine, obviously I don't know how you look like. I only see this letter T right next to your name. It's on the screen right now, but I imagine you having a huge hammer. KG1, thank you so much. How about Putin not being dead, but already living in exile with his girlfriend? No, I don't believe. I don't believe that. It's all or nothing. At this point, all or nothing. He cannot live in exile anywhere. Where? In Russia? Why do they need to leave a witness? Okay? The power groups who have helped him organize, let's say he's in exile, why do they need to keep him alive? Doesn't make any sense. Other country, as soon as he shows up in other country, there were rumors about a year ago that Putin was preparing home base in an African country somewhere and moving lots of gold, lots of money, so he could flee Russia to an African country. And then there were rumors about Venezuela. And this is absolute insanity, okay? Nothing like that can happen. Putin does not feel safe anywhere outside Russia, and for a good reason. Now, let's imagine the situation where Vladimir Putin, let's say, takes a few planes, fills one plane with gold, another plane with US dollars, another plane with like valuables, and flies to Venezuela. And before he talks to Maduro, and Maduro, of course, tell him, hey, Vlad, come, here's the mansion for you, here is security, here's everything, everything. So, and Putin lands, and Maduro, what does he do? He immediately surrounds him with the security, saying, Vlad, I want you to be safe. I want nothing happens to you, okay? And the security, of course, they're going to be jailers, not the security. They're not going to keep, well, they're going to keep people from the outside, but they're going to keep everyone on the inside from leaving to the outside. So once Putin lands on someone else's land, he's in the power of that person. And right after speaking to Vladimir Putin, inviting him, greeting, saying, hey, Vlad, is everything okay? Is the water in your swimming pool warm enough? Is your, coconuts are sweet enough? Stuff like that. He would call the Americans and say, hey, friends, guess who I have for you? And they'll say, we kind of have an idea. Say, yes. When are you going to come and get him? And the Americans will say, well, buddy, what do you want in exchange? And I'll say, well, I want to be on the good foot. I want to move to California, and I want to have a mansion in California, right next to a Hearst castle, and live there happily ever after. And the Americans will say, done. And that's it. That's going to be the end of Putin. The next thing he would know, those security from Venezuela, Maduro, they're going to handcuff him and put a bag on his head, and the next thing he wakes up in Hague, So Putin is not going anywhere. Okay. Next question comes from Andrew Baker. Thank you so much. That's super sticker for £5. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Much needed, much appreciated. And the next question comes from Michael Barnett. Putin blames worldwide colossal economic stress on bad global policies. YouTube video 4 hours ago. Times Radio, but it's fake. Michael, thank you so much for letting me know, for the heads up. I will watch it. I'll find out what this all about. Putin can blame anything on anyone. It doesn't really matter. And Stefan, thank you so much. Your judgment makes rethink and sharpens my view. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? Even if I'm wrong, and I am wrong sometimes, even if I'm wrong, then still, I hope I give you food for thought, food for analysis, a way to look at usual issues and usual situations at a different angle. So that's, and if I accomplish that, I'm very, that makes me happy. Thank you. Crusader Damian, again, thank you so much. It sounds like another dragon. I see that you, read my community post. Yes, spot on. If there's a new person, it's not too easy. It's not too easy. Let me explain. Well, anyway, unfortunately, the pause in the war and blaming the last guy won't fix the Russian psyche. Back to war in 10 years? No. The movie that I referred to Kill the Dragon, is just about that. You see, the southeastern fairy tale is that a young man who kills the dragon becomes the dragon, and that's the inner choice. It's an inner battle, okay? But the movie that, and the book and the movie I referred to Kill the Dragon, the Russian style, is different. Russian people are happy to live under the dragon. Russian people, if the dragon is killed, they themselves choose another dragon. And you are spot on. The dragon is gone. Once the Russian psyche changes, the dragon and the following dragons, they will disappear, okay? There will be no more. It must come from the people, from inside people. And that's the most difficult, most fundamental, most gargantuan change that must happen in the country with people, inside people, okay? Watch this movie. This movie is the best. It's the best. I consider it the best. It explains how the Russians are. It explains today, for goodness sake, you know? Anyway, Crusader Damian, thank you. Lorraine Proznosky, thank you so much. Have a happy Thanksgiving with your family. I'll be thinking of you. God bless. Lorraine, thank you so very much. We'll be thinking of you, and we'll be thinking of many usual suspects. We want to celebrate Thanksgiving American style as well. Don't have turkeys here, but, you know, we'll come up with something. So thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Mr. Wastelander, thank you very much. Hang on. Well, they have disappeared too. Oh, yeah. Just give me a second, folks. Mr. Wastelander. There you go. I apologize. There you go. Mr. Wastelander, why not Dmitry Medvedev? He's very hysterical on X. Maybe the next president of Russia? I don't think so. Very, very highly doubt it. He had his chance. He had his shot. And he used it too much. Because if you don't know the story, that he made a decision, well, at first he was placed in the chair to actually sit out for 4 years for Vladimir Putin to come back. And that was, the rumors have it, and I believe the rumors, that it was the agreement, okay? So Vladimir Putin became the prime minister, and he still was calling the shots, waiting so he could come back to Russia as another leader, another president. And Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Medvedev liked his position, new position, so much that he made a decision to run for the second term. to actually break the agreement. And everyone was absolutely sure, his team was sure, they were all prepared, and there was a huge event, sort of like Expo, there was a huge United Party convention, and he was supposed to announce his decision to run for the second term. And then he was, the rumors have it again, he was made an offer he could not refuse. Just like, I think there was something out of that horse head, in the movie. So anyway, he made a decision. He said, I endorse Vladimir Putin. I will not run for the second term. You should have seen the faces live of his team. They could not believe it. They were disgusted, okay? So I think Dmitry Medvedev made a big mistake, and that mistake is not going... Well, people remember that, Putin remembers that. Medvedev actually aimed at his power, and Putin doesn't like that. You know what Putin did the very next step after he became the president for the third time? He made a law, a federal law, that no president could run for 4 terms, meaning like if you do the 2 terms, you're done. You cannot become president again. That law was aimed at Dmitry Medvedev, so he wouldn't have any ideas. And I highly doubt it. Medvedev is done. So thank you so much, Mr. Wastelander. And there's a super chat from Carson Larrymore. Was Putin thinking of having great retirement with his palace yachts, and other extravagance? Seems he doesn't have a great future. Carlson, I think I have a different opinion. I think that he never was intended on retiring. Because once you become a dictator, once you become a dragon, your entire existence is geared towards keeping the power for as long as possible. Because once dictator loses his power, he loses his life. And once you step on that path of the absolute power, my precious, I don't know, you all seen the movie, okay? There's no way back. Only forward or to the grave. That's why dictators become ruthless. That's why they kill political opponents. That's why that they get rid of everyone who stands in their way or possibly poses a threat to them. Because it's either them or those people. Because once you lose the power, you are done. So Putin doesn't care about his yachts, his palaces, extravaganza. He just wants to keep on his power, if he's alive, of course, for as long as possible. Because that is his life. Period. James Hawk, thank you so much. From Poland, right? Polish money. James, thank you so much. Sorry, just joined the stream. Could you please add the father of Viking ZX, who is missing after landslide, to your prayers list? Sure can. Father, I'm not sure who's Viking ZX, but where's my pen when I need it? Will do. Okay. Let's move on. I'm feeling much better than a couple days ago, but Michael is down with pretty bad bug. Ugh. Las Vegas, Nevada, fact checker. Howdy. Viva Las Vegas. Montreal, Canada. VJ John. In America, they say Montreal, and in Russia, they say Montreal. Thank you so much, Dave Strains. Michael Monroe. Hang on. Let me put you up on that fame list. Why think of Boris Nadezhdin campaign for president? What do you think of Boris Nadezhdin campaign for president? I don't think anything of him. He's not a political player. He's not... That's a personal PR stunt. That's what I think. I learned of the guy not too long ago. Once he announced that he was going to run for president. So not much. I understand your question. You are desperately trying to find someone who can actually replace Putin, okay? I know. Trust me, there will be not one single candidate. This election that is coming up, it's not your democratic election in a democratic country. It's an engineered event. It's been well thought over for quite some time now. There is a list of names, and the negotiations and discussions have been done with those people on the list. Those people know how to participate. They know what they're gonna get in return as a bribe, so to speak, for participating, but not posing the threat, you know what I mean? So there's no elections. It's a play, it's a farce. Endale Homestead, howdy. Charlie B is, as usual, from Pacific Beach, California, howdy. I think I may get a cease and desist letter from K for abusing 100% button. I like that. Thank you so much. So Khrushchev was not a dictator. Are you asking me, Pamela J? I think he was a dictator. Only back then, well, Stalin was 100% dictator, but what Khrushchev replaced Stalin, and they changed the political system a little bit. Stalin was killing everyone underneath him. He was a ruthless monster, okay? So the communists who replaced Stalin, Politburo, they changed the rules. And the rule number one was that no power agency, no KGB, no police, no attorney general can touch a communist. For Politburo, for the Central Committee of Communist Party, there's a different system of justice, there's different judges, there's different law enforcement. So they safeguarded themselves from being killed by the likes of Stalin. And Khrushchev was the biggest among big, okay? He was a dictator, but not 100%. There was some political discussion going on in the Politburo. That's when Politburo, the Politburo as we know, was created. So it's actually a very interesting story with Khrushchev. But that's, it's really difficult to explain in short words. I don't think I missed anyone. Thank you so much, friends. Fantastic to have so many people here. This is inspiring to me. This is great. Imagine walking to a pub and having 2,100 friends there. I'm gonna drink this fantastic English tea, Marks and Spencer's Golden Buttons or Golden Sachets or something like that. It's called. It's pretty good. Thank you. VJ John, I think we'll be seeing the end game for Putin making popcorn towards spectacular. I think that the end game is nearing. I think that Russia, as we know it, politically, is about to change. I don't know how, but it'll change. It could be the successor change, or it could be a civil war. Different paths. But very soon we will know. Very soon. Caesars, thank you again. I'd like to ask if the announcements of other people running for the office are not just attempts to find out if Putin will run or some tries to embarrass his team. No embarrassment. No. There was, and I'm going to be watching closely. I will update you on how campaign goes. So far, there was one independent person. An activist, I think she's a foreign agent, but don't quote me on that. I will get more informed on that. She announced, the girl, a lady, a political activist. She's been involved in non-profit organizations helping other people. She announced that she is going to run for the president. She doesn't like the way Russia has been run, and, she intends to run for the president. She has a Telegram channel, a few thousand people, I think, and she made an online announcement. And guess what happened right next to it, right after? The KGB paid her a visit. Right after! Because she was not on the list, she's not agreed upon, and she's an outsider trying to get inside the Holy Grail, okay? So, I think that the KGB said, they didn't arrest her, but they said, look, we're watching you. We're watching every single step. You get too close, you'll get burned. We're just warning you, okay? And they gave her a warning. And this is what happens when a real person, she's a small potatoes. No one knows about this girl, okay? But they're afraid. They are afraid of anyone who is from outside, who is not part of these people who make decisions, okay? Who discuss, who negotiate, who approve. So this is answering your question. So none of these people running for the office are from the outside. Everything has been scripted out. Jason Parrish, thank you so very much. Jason, I really appreciate. Thank you for your insight. I had my eyes opened. I am very glad that you found it interesting and insightful. This is why I actually spent so much time doing these things. Thank you so much for your support, very generous support. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving, and much appreciated, much needed, and the words are really priceless. Pamela J says, awesome, you can celebrate Thanksgiving, giving thanks you are not in Russia. Happy Thanksgiving to you and to everyone who celebrates. You're doing it tonight. I'm sorry. How Thanksgiving is tomorrow, on Thursday. I thought I remember that the families get together on Thursday. Today is just like a small dinner the night before. Am I wrong? At least that's how we did it in Maine all the time. Am I mistaken? Will the real Mr. Putin please stand up? Jeffrey S. Can I order and deliver your food for thought via DoorDash? Not sure what DoorDash is, but you know what? I think that the food for thought has been delivered today. And I think you're not hungry for it because you show up every day and it's delivered straight into your head. The 3 Barracuda almost at 250,000 subs. Yes, right now it's 249,353 or something like that. So we'll definitely celebrate 250,000. It's hard to believe that I've come such a long way. Sometimes it doesn't feel real, you know. I remember I was struggling for 9 months to get to 1,000 subscribers because, you know, I did not have one new subscriber literally for 9 months. It was 700, 700, 700, and then I gave an interview to Pinball of Pinball Preparedness and got exposure to so many people, and I got monetized. I got over 1,000 people. So Pinball, by the way, is one of the moderators. He doesn't show up often, once in a blue moon. And if you are listening to me, Pinball, salutations to you. Thank you. Pinball is my godfather of YouTube. He gave me a chance. He kind of, you know, gave me an impulse. George Roberty, good to see you. I benefit greatly from your daily stream. Thank you for hard work and prayers. My pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you benefit, and I'm glad that, you know, we pray. Paula W. I started to watch that movie, but it didn't have English subtitles. Look, you go to settings, and then let me see. Under every video, this thing says settings. Thing is, YouTube translates every single video into all languages. Okay, that's the quality of translation is not that great, but still, you know, you get translated. So you go to settings, it's this little wheel, and then you go to subtitles, and you have a choice. Subtitles, you just click on the language, and, you know, the subtitle says translate, and it gives you a whole number of like 100-something languages. So that's I definitely checked out. The video that I sent you is with English subtitles, that's for sure. Again, settings, subtitles, choose English. Andrew Warren, thank you so much for letting me know that you liked it. I highly recommend everyone watching me right now watch that movie, To Kill the Dragon, Убить дракона. The movie itself, the quality of the movie is, but it's the idea it represents. It was filmed in 1988, when Russians were allowed to think freely somewhat, perestroika years. And it was made by a joint venture from Russian movie studio Mosfilm and a Germany company, Bavaria Film, ZDF. Anyway. Так. Jim, thank you so much. I listened to several YouTube physics and they think Putin is on life support. I wish I could ask them what makes them think he's on life support. How do they know? That there's got to be something that they use and analyze and base their opinions on. What is that? You let me know if you know. I don't. That's why I'm telling that anyone who tells you that he's dead, he knows for sure he lies. Because no one knows. That's a best kept secret in Russia right now. If he is dead, it would be the best kept secret, you know. What makes them think he's on life support? Roy Cousins, it's really hard to disagree with you. Medvedev is definitely, I think he is preserved, yes. Was Putin's stockpile made in China? Craig Savarese, or Savarizi, not sure how to say it right. Considering all the existing stressors on the Russian economy, will the 40% 2024 military budget by the final nail in the coffin? Major acceleration. Now, 40% 2024 military budget, will it be a final nail? It's hard to say what will be the final nail. You're absolutely right that the Russian economy is right underneath a perfect storm that is staying and spinning around Russia. And I think that's what you are calling the existing stressors. Yes. Well, it's everything. It's just on top of my head. For the biggest stressors are Russia losing the greatest customer for exports of oil and natural gas. Europe. Russia losing ability to sell gas to Europe. Russia losing ability to sell oil to Europe using the pipelines. Russia losing ability to sell oil at above 60. Yes, it has been circumventing this going around it, but no more, because what Americans are doing right now, they're squishing on those who have been helping Russians to sell oil at above 60, and they won't be for a long time, for long. So, of course, they will. There's another stressor is the loss of human capital. The best of the best, the cream of the crop, have left Russia. Loss of all sources of investments. The only investor left is Russia, the budget, okay, and that's not going to last for long. The loss of access to international financial markets. Most companies, Western companies, well, all Western companies have left Russia and they've pulled out their technologies with them. What else? Russia not producing anything, so it's highly dependent on exports of everything from abroad. Okay, the exchange rate is going up, therefore inflation is going up because everything is bought to Russia from abroad and paid in American dollars. The key interest rate at 15%. This is absolutely insane. This is definitely a stressor. Absolutely tremendous risk of bursting the personal financial debt bubble. We start seeing the signs that the bubble is bursting right now. Defaults are growing, and all this not so wonderful things. And what else? Oh, it's just on top of my head. That's one thing from what I've just said from that list can knock any economy down significantly. Russia is under the stress of all things happening at once. Okay. Well, of course, just like you said, the increase in military budget by like fivefold from comparing to 2 years ago is definitely another huge stressor. Will it be the final nail? I think there are all our final nails, and they will start, nailing the coffin down at the same time. So thank you. Whew. Folks, looks like we are wrapping up because time is up. Just a couple more questions, that's it. What happened to all the Russians who watched and were affected by the film? Have they given up? Lisa, this is such an incredible situation. I remember that movie released. I was 12 years old. I remember it made a splash. I remember people were talking about this movie in the kitchen. I remember it was like a gulp of fresh air. Like, did you see that? Oh my gosh. And those very same people who were taking it as a cultural event have turned into the very same people from the movie who have gladly accepted and welcomed another dragon. Okay, so I don't know how to answer your question. I don't understand myself. This is the craziest thing. Those very same people who were so eager to change country, to change their lives, to bring the democracy in, now they are welcoming another dragon. Same kind of dragon. Gosh. Allison, thank you. Will Putin get a mausoleum like Lenin? Oh no. Multidaki, what he will get is he will be blamed, cursed, all Russia's problems. That not even his, okay? He will be blamed for everything. And he's going to be the scapegoat. I looked under settings as well as, well, click on the Russian. Try to click on these things because once you click, this whole list of languages appears. Paula W, please try to do that. Try to play with it a little bit. The translation is not the greatest quality, but at least kind of you understand what's happening there, Friends, I'll be wrapping up. Thank you so very much for coming today. I think this was very important stream. I felt like I needed to share my observations with you, and I feel it's important. I have not heard anyone in Russia talking about this stuff. Thank you again. I invite everyone to pray with me to finish this live stream praying. Lately I've been getting messages from atheists saying that, I'm an atheist, but I still pray with you, wishing the best to the people, wishing them good wishes. And this is what I'm after, really. If you don't believe in God and you don't pray, join us praying anyway. You can name it whatever name you like. Sending good wishes, sending good vibes, good energy is good enough. It doesn't matter. It does not change the prayer, Anyway, thank you so much. Friends, please join me in prayer. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. this week and his lives. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving us roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with people who we love and who love us. Dear Lord, please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful, and raise them in a way that when they grow up and become adults, they will never fight in any wars. They will be peaceful, and they will make this world a better place. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, please help the Ukrainians and Ukraine. Help stop the bloodshed in the country. The country has suffered so much. Please feel the hearts and souls of people who are responsible and capable of making the decision to stop the bloodshed with love, mercy, forgiveness. Make their hearts softer so they wake up from their lethargic sleep and make this decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Dear Lord, please help my country, Russia. Assemble your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael in a shining armor, and send this shining army as your heavenly avalanche onto this earth to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Please send them to where they belong, to hell. Have good people, assisted by the angels, run Russia in the right way so Russia is peaceful, loving, loved, respecting, and respected. Dear Lord, please help everyone who is traveling, send them safe travels, send everyone who is asking for asylum, please send help to single mothers who are struggling, trying to make ends meet for, them and their children they're raising. Please help the Ukrainians who are suffering and in danger of Russian missile strikes right now. Please give them safety, and God bless all who are helping the Ukrainians, opening their hearts, wallets, and doors for people from Ukraine. Please help all those who are sick, addicted, hungry, homeless, jobless, depressed, betrayed, struggling with their faith, not feeling good about themselves and about their lives. Dear Lord, please fill the hearts and souls of people in need with your love and surround them with your warmth. So these people feel that you care, they feel your support, they feel your love, and that would make them feel better about themselves, and that would help solve problems that they have. Please help everyone in need. Thank you so much for allowing us to create this community and pray every single day. Thank you for everyone who is praying along with me right now or simply watching us pray. Answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true. Thank you so much. Dear Lord, I would like to ask you for a few people who need your help. They are Olga. She needs recovery. Please help her and her family. Please help Alexei. Give them strength and send your angels to assist and help. Paul Wright and his community, we pray for them today. Please help father of Viking ZX. Have him be safely found after a landslide. Please help Jason Carney, who's not feeling well, send speedy recovery. A little girl Sarah, who is not feeling well as well, please send her recovery to her and Please send strength to her family who's been praying for her nonstop. Please help Kyle E.'s wife, Joseph Johnson. Those who have had a streak of bad luck, send them better days, please. Rhonda McGillis, Heidi Homestead, CB, Ann Larson's daughter, Hannah, Morgan L., Terry Carter's former in-laws, Electron's family, Kurt from Colorado, Deborah, Bogey Berger and his 2 sons, John, Dory, please help her, send her recovery, help her heal her blood and body, and help her family members, including Uncle Jim. Jason Connor, Janice Stevenson, Jay Spike, Sam from Kiev, Leslie Fleming's daughter, Buzz Simon, Wayne, Anna from Poland, Scan Family's family members, who need your help. Dave, Dawn, Summer 613's mother, Mike O'Neill, Julia Haney, Julie W., Vasilin Lubomirov, Susie Mailer needs help with migraines. Lise Dumbrell, Darla, George Ruberty, White Lightning, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Svetlana, Randolph, Grace Philosophy, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, Liz, Karen, Lori Miles' husband, David Porter from Chernovtsi, his family and everyone from Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Stefan from Sweden, Pamela J., Leif, Susan, John Lee McMahon, Terry Carter's fiancée, and Meta Spencer. Dear Lord, please help my son Michael, who's not feeling well. Send him speedy recovery. And please send help to all kids who are not feeling well as well. Please have them recovered soon. Send angels to each one of such children to make them feel better. And please send strength to their parents. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, happy Thanksgiving to the ones who are in the United States of America. It's a fantastic holiday. 2 of my best holidays are Thanksgiving and Christmas, obviously. Family holiday, that's what I like very much. I will make something special, a special video, a short one for the members and the patrons. And I will make, there will be no live stream tomorrow, just a short video released. So thank you so very much, the usual suspects, the mods. Happy Thanksgiving, and you are absolutely fantastic. You rock, and I will see you soon. Before I sign off, as usual, I invite you to join me and say out loud as you can, the following. Carthago delenda est.